The Galactic Armies had never lost a war. Composed of the most advanced species in the known universe, they swept across star systems with the ease of a cosmic tide, their fleets gleaming like constellations of death. Their technology was unmatched, their strategies flawless, and their arrogance boundless. To them, Earth was a quaint anomaly, a blue-green pebble teeming with chaotic ecosystems and primitive life forms. They called it the wilderness planet, a term dripping with condescension. When their ships descended through Earth's atmosphere, humanity surrendered without a fight. What was the point? The aliens' energy shields rendered human weapons useless, and their plasma cannons could level cities in seconds. The Galactic Armies established their primary base in the heart of the Amazon rainforest, a location they deemed harmlessly picturesque. Their commander, a towering insectoid named Zorath, scoffed at the dense foliage and oppressive humidity. "This is not a battlefield," he declared to his officers. "This is a vacation. Let the humans keep their jungle. It is no threat to us." But Zorath and his armies had made a critical mistake. They had underestimated Earth's wilds, and the humans who thrived within them. Deep in the jungle, far from the alien base, a small team of soldiers gathered in a hidden bunker. They were the Jungle Special Forces, an elite unit trained to operate in the most hostile environments on Earth. Each member had been handpicked for their unique skills, and together, they formed a perfect blend of strategy, creativity, and raw unpredictability. Captain Ava, Ironheart Johnson, stood at the head of the table, her sharp eyes scanning the holographic map of the alien base. She was a natural leader, her voice calm but commanding. "They think we're primitive," she said, a faint smirk tugging at her lips. "Let's remind them why that's a dangerous assumption." Beside her, Dr. Liam Patel adjusted his glasses, his fingers dancing across a tablet as he analyzed the aliens' energy grid. A genius engineer and biologist, Liam had spent years studying the Amazon's ecosystems. "Their shields are powered by a central generator," he said. "If we can disable it, they'll be vulnerable. But getting close won't be easy." L.T. Noah Dreamer Carter, the team's resident tech wizard, leaned back in his chair, a mischievous glint in his eye. Known as Dreamer for his boundless optimism and love of sci-fi, Noah had already hacked into the aliens' comms. "They're not even monitoring the perimeter," he said, shaking his head in disbelief. "They're so sure we can't touch them. It's almost insulting." At the far end of the table, Sergeant Mia Wildcard Rodriguez cleaned her sniper rifle with practiced ease. Her dark humor and reckless bravery made her the team's wildcard, always ready to throw the enemy off balance. "I say we give them a welcome party," she said, her grin sharp as a blade. Jungle style. The team's mission was clear: infiltrate the alien base, sabotage their operations, and prove that Earth was not to be trifled with. It was a near impossible task, but the Jungle's special forces thrived on impossible odds. As they moved through the rainforest under the cover of darkness, the jungle itself seemed to come alive around them. The air was thick with the calls of nocturnal creatures, and the dense canopy filtered the moonlight into a patchwork of shadows. The aliens, with their reliance on technology, had no idea how to navigate such terrain. Their drones buzzed aimlessly, unable to penetrate the thick foliage, and their sensors were useless against the natural interference. The team's first obstacle was an alien patrol, a group of armored soldiers marching through the undergrowth, with all the subtlety of a stampeding elephant. Ava signaled for silence, her hand gestures precise. Liam crouched low, pulling a small device from his pack. With a flick of a switch, he released a swarm of genetically enhanced army ants. Their mandibles capable of chewing through metal, the ants swarmed the patrol, disabling their weapons and sending them into a panic. Noah couldn't resist a grin as he watched the aliens flail. "Looks like they're not fans of bugs," he whispered. Mia, ever the opportunist, took out her sniper rifle and picked off the remaining soldiers with silent precision. "Welcome to Earth," she muttered under her breath. As the team pressed on, they encountered more of the jungle's natural hazards. venomous snakes, quicksand, and even a territorial jaguar. Each time, they turned the environment to their advantage, using their knowledge of the terrain to outwit the aliens. By the time they reached the outskirts of the alien base, the Galactic Armies were beginning to realize their mistake. Zorath's voice crackled over the comms, his tone laced with frustration. "Find them!" he barked. "I don't care how primitive this planet is. I want those humans dead." But it was too late. The jungle special forces had already infiltrated the base, their movements as silent and deadly as the jungle itself. As they prepared to sabotage the power supply, Ava turned to her team, her voice steady. "This is just the beginning," she said. "Let's show them what happens when they underestimate us." The section ended with the team plunging the alien base into darkness, their silhouettes illuminated by the sparks of failing machinery. The Galactic Armies, once so confident in their superiority, were left scrambling in the shadows. And somewhere, in the depths of the jungle, a jaguar let out a low, rumbling growl, as if warning the invaders of what was to come. The stage was set. The jungle had become a battlefield, and the Galactic Armies were about to learn a harsh lesson. Never mock Earth's wilds. Captain Ava Johnson led her team with the precision of a seasoned tactician. Her sharp eyes scanned the terrain, noting every rustling leaf and distant animal call. "Stay sharp," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the jungle's symphony. "They're starting to realize we're here." The team's first major obstacle was a dense thicket of vines and thorny underbrush. Dr. Liam Patel, ever the problem solver, pulled a machete from his pack and began clearing a path. "This stuff is like nature's barbed wire," he muttered, sweat dripping from his brow. "Good thing I brought this." Noah Carter, the team's tech wizard, adjusted the settings on his portable scanner. "I'm picking up movement about 200 meters ahead," he said, his voice tinged with excitement. "Looks like another patrol. They're heading right for us." Mia Rodriguez, the team's wildcard, grinned as she checked her sniper rifle. "Let's give them a warm welcome," she said, her eyes gleaming with mischief. Ava quickly devised a plan. Liam, set up a diversion. Noah, hack into their comms and feed them false intel. Mia, take the high ground and cover us. We'll hit them, hard and fast. Liam nodded and pulled a small device from his pack. It was a modified smoke grenade, filled with a chemical compound he had designed to mimic the scent of a jaguar. He tossed it into the underbrush, and within seconds, a thick cloud of smoke billowed into the air, carrying the unmistakable odor of a predator. The alien patrol, already on edge, froze in their tracks. Their leader, a hulking reptilian soldier, hissed in alarm. "What is that smell?" he demanded, his voice trembling. Noah, meanwhile, had hacked into their comm system. "This is command," he said, mimicking the aliens' guttural language. "Return to base immediately. The jungle is too dangerous." The patrol hesitated, torn between their orders and their growing fear. That hesitation was all Mia needed. From her perch in a nearby tree, she took aim and fired, her sniper rifle emitting a barely audible poof. The reptilian leader crumpled to the ground, a look of shock frozen on his face. The remaining soldiers panicked, firing blindly into the smoke. Ava and Liam moved in, their movements swift and silent. Ava's combat knife found its mark in one soldier's throat, while Liam used his machete to disable another. Within moments, the patrol was neutralized. As the team regrouped, Noah couldn't resist a grin. "That was almost too easy," he said, his voice filled with satisfaction. Mia jumped down from her perch, landing lightly on the forest floor. "They're not so tough when they're out of their element," she said, her grin matching Noah's. But Ava's expression was serious. "Don't get cocky," she warned. "They'll adapt, and we need to stay one step ahead." The team pressed on, their progress slowed by the jungle's relentless obstacles. At one point, they had to cross a river teeming with piranhas. Liam used his knowledge of the local wildlife to fashion a makeshift bridge from fallen branches, while Noah hacked into the aliens' surveillance drones to create a distraction. As they neared the alien base, The team encountered their most dangerous challenge yet. A massive anaconda, its coils glistening in the dappled sunlight. The snake hissed, its eyes fixed on the intruders. Mia raised her rifle, but Ava stopped her with a gesture. "Wait," she said, her voice calm. "We don't need to kill it. We just need to get past it." Liam stepped forward, holding out a small device that emitted a low-frequency sound. The anaconda, startled by the noise, slithered away into the underbrush. "Nice work," Ava said, nodding in approval. Finally, the team reached the outskirts of the alien base. The structure was a stark contrast to the natural beauty of the jungle. A hulking, metallic monstrosity that seemed to pulse with malevolent energy. Ava surveyed the scene, her mind racing with possibilities. "This is it," she said, her voice filled with determination. "We hit them hard, and we hit them fast. Let's show them what happens when they underestimate us." The team moved into position, their movements synchronized and precise. Liam planted explosives at key points around the base, while Noah hacked into the security system to disable the alarms. Mia took up a sniper position, her rifle trained on the guards patrolling the perimeter. As the final explosive was set, Ava gave the signal. "Now!" The jungle erupted in a cacophony of sound and light as the explosives detonated, sending plumes of smoke and debris into the air. The alien base was plunged into chaos, its once impenetrable defenses crumbling under the relentless assault. The Galactic Armies, so confident in their superiority, were left scrambling in the darkness. Zorath's voice crackled over the comms, his tone filled with rage and disbelief. "Find them!" he roared. "I don't care what it takes. Find those humans." But it was too late. The jungle special forces had already vanished into the jungle, their mission accomplished. As they regrouped at a safe distance, Ava turned to her team, her eyes filled with pride. "This is just the beginning," she said. "Let's show them what happens when they underestimate us." The section ended with the team disappearing into the shadows, their silhouettes illuminated by the flickering flames of the alien base. The Galactic Armies, once so confident in their superiority, were left to face the harsh reality. They had underestimated Earth's wilds and the humans who thrived within them. The Galactic Armies were no longer laughing. The jungle special forces had struck their Amazon base with precision, leaving chaos in their wake. But the invaders adapted quickly. They deployed terraformers, massive spire-like machines that devoured ecosystems and spewed toxic ash. Earth's green heart began to wither. Captain Ava Johnson and her team watched from a canopy hideout, the air thick with the stench of burning foliage. "They're not just occupying us now," Ava said, her voice cold as she adjusted her binoculars. "They're erasing us." Dr. Liam Patel crouched beside her, his tablet displaying a thermal scan of the nearest terraformer. "That spire's drilling into the mantle. If it destabilizes the tectonic plate, the whole region could collapse." His fingers trembled slightly, betraying his calm tone. "But there's a weak point. The coolant system. Overload it, and the spire blows." "Noah, dreamer." Carter snorted, his usual grin absent. "Oh, sure. Just stroll into their death machine. What's the worst that could happen?" Mia Rodriguez chambered a round into her sniper rifle. "They'll have triple patrols, mines, maybe those creepy lizard dogs they keep as pets." She flashed a razor-edged smile. "I call dibs on the dogs." Ava silenced them with a look. "We don't have a choice. If that spire stays active, the Amazon dies. And we die with it." The terraformer loomed ahead, a obsidian monolith piercing the sky. Alien sentries patrolled its base, their armor glinting under floodlights. The jungle here was eerily silent. No birds, no insects, just the mechanical hum of the spire devouring the earth. Liam handed out vials of chlorophyll paste. "Camouflage," he explained. "Their scanners track body heat, but this'll mask your biosignatures for an hour. Maybe." Noah smeared the green sludge on his face. "You sure this isn't just guacamole?" "If it is, You're allergic now, Mia said, tossing him a smirk. The team split up. Ava and Liam circled toward the spire's rear, where Liam's scans showed a ventilation shaft. Mia scaled a nearby kapok tree, her rifle scope glinting. Noah hacked into the alien comms, his fingers dancing across a stolen data pad. Patrols rotating every 6 minutes. He whispered into his mic, "Mia, you've got 2 lizards heading your way." "Already on it," Mia replied. 2 muffled puffs later, the sentries crumpled. Ava pried open the ventilation grate, the metal screeching softly. Inside, the spire throbbed with heat, its walls vibrating like a living thing. Liam's breath hitched as they crawled through, ducts lined with glowing alien circuitry. "They're using geothermal energy to power the terraforming," he muttered. "Brilliant and suicidal." "Focus," Ava snapped. "Where's the coolant?" Liam pointed downward. 3 levels, but the core's unstable. 1 wrong move, and a sudden alarm blared. Red lights pulsed. Noah's voice crackled. Over comms. "They've spotted the bodies. Go loud or go home." Mia's rifle barked in the distance, followed by alien shouts. Ava cursed and kicked open a duct panel, dropping into a control room. 2 engineers turned, their insectoid eyes widening. She disarmed the first with a knife to the thorax. Liam stunned the second with a jury-rigged taser. "Nice," Ava said, raising an eyebrow. Liam shrugged. "Improvised." The coolant chamber was a cathedral of horrors, pulsing veins of liquid nitrogen snaking through the spire's core. Liam connected his tablet to the alien console, sweat dripping onto the screen. "I need 5 minutes to reroute the flow. After that, it'll melt down." "You've got 2, Ava said, covering the door. Alien boots pounded outside. Mia's voice cut through the chaos. "Incoming." And they brought friends. Noah's hacked drones buzzed into the fray, kamikazing into the advancing troops. "Distraction delivered," he yelled. "But we're out of tricks." The console beeped. Liam's hands shook. "Almost there." The door exploded. A hulking alien commander filled the doorway, plasma cannon humming. Ava fired her sidearm, useless against its armor. Then Mia's bullet ricocheted off a pipe, striking the commander's exposed eye. It roared, stumbling back. "Told you I'd handle the dogs," Mia said, reloading. The console flashed red. "Go!" Liam shouted. The team fled as the spire shuddered, its core glowing white-hot. They dove into the jungle just as the terraformer erupted, a fireball lighting the night sky. The team regrouped in a hollowed-out kapok tree, their faces streaked with soot and chlorophyll. Noah laughed breathlessly. "We did it! Spire's toast!" But Ava stared at the horizon, where distant orange lights flickered. Not all of them. Liam pulled up a satellite map. 4 more spires glowed across the Amazon. "They're accelerating the terraforming. We slowed them down. Didn't stop them." Mia spat blood from a split lip. "So we blow up the rest." "With what?" Noah gestured to his empty drone pouch. "We're out of toys. Out of time." Ava stood, her gaze hardening. "Then we find new toys." As dawn broke, the team discovered a cluster of abandoned human settlements, rusted labs filled with pre-invasion tech. Liam knelt beside a half-buried generator, his eyes widening. "This isn't ours. It's theirs. Old Galactic Army gear, left behind after the first surrender." Noah grinned. "Salvage? Better." Liam held up a dusty data core. Blueprints, schematics, weaknesses. Ava smiled for the first time in days. Turn their own weapons against them. But as they celebrated, the jungle itself seemed to recoil. Trees groaned, soil shifted. Something ancient and furious stirred beneath their feet. A final ally, or a final reckoning. The Galactic Army's remaining terraformers pulsed like infected wounds across the Amazon, their toxic breath choking the sky. Captain Ava Johnson stood in the shadow of a half-buried alien generator, her team battered but unbroken. The data, Core they'd recovered glowed in Liam's hands, its secrets bleeding into his tablet. Their shields have a harmonic flaw, he said, voice frayed but focused. If we overload the frequency, the spire's cores will chain react. But it'll take perfect timing and a lot of firepower. Mia Rodriguez hefted a salvaged plasma cannon, her grin feral. Firepower's my middle name. Noah Carter, his usual levity dulled by exhaustion, tapped the generator's rusted controls. This relic's barely holding together. One wrong move, and we're radioactive confetti. Ava's gaze swept her team. We hit all 4 spires, at once. Liam and Noah take the north and east. Mia, west. I'll handle the south. She paused, her tone softening. No heroes. We all come back. The jungle seemed to hold its breath as they dispersed. The southern spire loomed. Its defenses, tripled since the last attack. Ava crouched in the undergrowth, detonators strapped to her chest. She'd rigged the generator to emit a shield-disrupting pulse, but only for 60 seconds. Enough, she thought. If I'm fast. Alien sentries patrolled the perimeter, their armored, boots crunching dead foliage. Ava triggered the pulse. The spire's shields flickered and died. She sprinted, dodging plasma fire, and slapped explosives onto the core's access panel. A sniper round grazed her shoulder. Mia's work, thinning the herd. She detonated the charges, the blast hurling her into the mud as the spire shuddered. The northern spire was a labyrinth of malfunctioning tech. Liam jury-rigged the data core to a terminal, his fingers trembling. Frequency synced. He muttered, "Now just..." An alien shock trooper lunged from the shadows. Liam grabbed a live power cable, jamming it into the trooper's chest. The feedback surge seared his hands, but he held on, screaming as the spire's core overloaded. Noah's voice crackled over comms. "Liam, get out!" He didn't. The western spire burned as Mia carved through sentries, her plasma cannon scorching the air. "This one's for Liam, you roaches!" She breached the core chamber, planting explosives with trembling hands. A lizard dog pounced. Its jaws snapped shut on empty air as she blew the spire, and herself, into the inferno. The eastern spire hummed with unstable energy. Noah, tears cutting through grime, hacked the control grid. "You wanted ghosts?" he snarled. "Here's your damn ghosts." He rerouted all power to the core, triggering a meltdown. The spire erupted as he fled, the shockwave tossing him into the river. The final terraformer, its shield still intact. "Noah, Mia, Liam." Their names were a mantra, a prayer. Then the earth moved. Vines erupted from the soil, snaking around the spire's base. Trees bent like bows, their roots tearing through metal. A low, resonant growl shook the air. Not animal, not machine, but something older. The jungle itself twisted, crushing the spire in a cacophony of splintering. Steel, Zorath's flagship descended, its weapons charging. "Primitives!" the commander screeched. "You dare defy!" The growl intensified. A colossal root speared the ship's hull, dragging it into the earth. Zorath's final transmission was a static, choked scream. Weeks later, Ava stood at the edge of the reclaimed Amazon, Noah at her side. The jungle thrived, greener and fiercer than before. "We lost them," Noah said quietly. "Mia, Liam." Ava nodded. "But we saved this. And it saved us." She gestured to the vines coiled around a shattered alien helmet, a warning to any who'd return. Noah smiled faintly. "Think the galaxy's learned its lesson?" A distant growl rippled through the trees, deeper than thunder. "Not yet," Ava said. "But they will."